Hey, morning Spurs fans. Paul the Hotspur hippie here. The only psychedelic as I get my seat in the right place. It's not like I haven't had 5 minutes to get that shit sorted out. The only psychedelic soccer channel on the internet. And what an evening of bugger all news it's been. I woke up this morning and see that nothing's really happened. Well, a lovely day yesterday. I actually saw some kangaroos yesterday, which was very nice, hopping around the front garden. Did a little short. Well, I think the kids call it a YouTube short of that. Big muscly buggers, they really are. You know, people think they're cute, but they're just all sinew and. I mean, they're not as passive creatures though. Just don't fuck with them. Don't poke them with a stick because they'll have you. They'll kick you to Belgium. Um, the only bits of news I really saw, and I just had a quick look really, is we've still got Mickey van der Ven on our shortlist for centre backs alongside Tapsoba. I think Fabrizio yesterday, if I might need to be stand corrected on this, but I think he said there was going to be another one named today. Where's the name Fabrizio, Mr. Tapping King? I haven't seen it. It's the same two. You're recycling the same names. I want to see the third. I want to see Ito. That would make me excited. I'll just have a quick look, say hello to people in the chat, and then there's a bit of Ange goodness, which I'm assuming is on bloody Spurs play. Another way to wring as much money out of you as possible. The only way to watch our pre-season friendlies is to. How much is Spurs play? Let me have a look. I'm curious. How much is Spurs play? I mean, look, it's $5. I'll do it. But come on. Let's have a look. Where is it? Spurs play. God, the power of the internet. Oh yeah, this is going to be a bullshit website. Here we go. Come on. I'm broadcasting here. Oh, I can watch Ange's address, can I? For free?
Hi everyone.
I've already seen that one. How much is it to subscribe to this shit? Doesn't say. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's free. Maybe they've opened their hearts a little bit at Tottenham Hotspur. They thought, we've taken enough money off the fans, because we've advertised our new kit 500 times and we sold 1 billion of them. We've had the advert of the perfume advert. We've had behind the scenes on how the perfume advert was shot. And then we had Sonny doing a bit of that, hey Sonny, do the thing, people know you do that. Flog a few shirts, mate. Yeah, right, there you go. Fucking hell, so maybe Spurs plays free. I don't know. Last time I looked at it last year, it just wasn't worth it. But I saw there was an interview with Ange somewhere, so I'll get onto that. But we'll say hello to a few of you internet lunatics out there. Evening, Moondog. Nice to have you around. Are you on terra firma or are you on in the sky? Forgotten what Latin is for the sky. 600. Have I got 600? No, I've got 600. Have I? Bloody hell, I don't know what's happened overnight. If I've got 600 subscribers, I haven't checked the figures yet. 598, which is still, I'm all right with that. Hey, 600. It's nearly 600, isn't it? That's pretty good. I did have a look on Social Blade, that fudge site, and it said my estimated earnings are up to like $70 now. $70 a month. Can't wait for that. Oh, that'll keep the lights on in the fridge. Can't wait. Who we got here? RLBS 185. Morning. Good morning, mate. How you going? Nice to see you. It is a nice morning here. Nice and sunny. I'll just see if there's any kangaroos out here. No. There's a few hopping around the front garden. As I say, I did a short YouTube video on that, and it was really nice to see them. They're pretty awesome creatures. You're putting out so much content, Paul. It's awesome. Oh, well, you know, I didn't feel like it. I mean, it's streaming. I like doing the streams. It'd be nice if, you know, there was more to talk about. There's more things happening. But I enjoy it, you know, when I'm out and about, and so, you know, I string a couple of dots together, and then I'll just do a quick video. It's sort of scratching a bit of a creative itch. So I'm really quite having a lot of fun doing it at the moment. I think, you know, if you're going to be a nutcase, you might as well be a proper nutcase. There's no half-arsing being a social misfit. You might as well just come out and do it properly. Diver Digital, hi Paul, g'day man, and you're Seattle, bloody hell, the Hotspur hippie web of love and peace is spread all over the world and every corner of the planet. Seattle, lovely place, never been there. What's the furthest north I've got? I got the Washington State Forest, didn't get to Seattle. Portland would be the northernmost city I've been to, but a good music scene in Seattle. I hope it's still a good music scene. Oh, it's not like Sydney, which is shite now, because they basically get all these posh people moving next door to pubs and say, oh, we don't like the music. I know they've been playing live music for 500 years, but it's a bit loud, so they have to close the pubs down. It's bloody ridiculous. And then the other ones that are open, they've worked out there's more economical for the pub to close the bit where they play the band and the live music and put 500 slot machines in, poker machines they're called here, pokies. If you haven't seen an Australian pub with the pokies in it, if you're English and you see this, it'll blow your head off. It's like, what the fuck's all this? It's disgusting. You know, I'm used to a pub having one fruit machine that in the corner that no one played because it cost £1 and it's just a waste of time. Here, you literally rooms of hundreds of them with people sitting down just like zombies pressing their button, thinking it's going to win. Tap and go, tap and take my money. Alex Kunago, nice to see you. I'm getting spurious comments here. There's two that's here up to 600. No, 598. 598. I will take those congratulations when I get to 600. But thanks to everyone that subscribed. It's really cool, man. Really cool. I know the thing with YouTube, you've got to do content. That is the main thing. But you know, I really am having fun doing it. It's because it's a laugh, isn't it? And I will be going back home to Sydney in the next couple of days. So I'm looking forward to getting all my stupid patterns back up on the stream. I don't think it gets any more viewers, but I just like the look of it a bit more, that's all. Me sat here like a serial killer being interrogated in front of this. It's my expensive lighting setup. That's why I'm squinting a bit. Realms 85. I had to buy a whole year subscription to watch the pre-season games last season. Did you really? Well, for Spurs play, fuck me, man. That's not right, is it? It really. I mean, yeah. I'm not on with that, man. I know they've got to pay. You know, they got to pay Sonny's wages and all that. But come on, mate. I remember I looked at Spurs play last year, and I can't even remember how much it was. I just thought it's not bloody worth that, you know, for a couple of pre-season games and bugger all during the year. I'm thinking, like, if you make it £1, no one's going to have a problem with it. Make it £1 a month. That's one of those things you just join and then you forget you've subscribed to. So they're just getting money for all right, but at least it's only £1. It's like 20 quid. Oh, let me find out how much is Spurs play. I'm curious. How much is Spurs play? Oh, if you buy it for a year, 45 a year. That's $90, man. So I suppose if I pay it once a month, $10 a month. Fuck them. Didn't see there was much on it. Here we go. Hello, Wayne Bonner. How's it going? Hope everyone's well. Oh, Yasarian. G'day, man. G'day from Gimoy, otherwise known as Cairns, you're up there. Cairns, looking forward to the Ange officially starting coming to Spurs. Well, sorry, I'm in Blue Mountains. I've been going deep into Wiradjuri country, having a rummage around and seen some really nice, exciting stuff. Saw an echidna yesterday, a couple of kangaroos, and just beautiful gorges and scenery, and then the stupid names that us lot gave them. So I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well. Where's my cursor gone? I think cursor's disappeared. Hang on. Cursor's disappeared. There. I can't function. Where's the cursor? Hang on. Normal service will resume in a minute. It seems to have stuck in the corner. Maybe if I use this cursor, does it work? Right. I got back up. Hang on. Oh, I'm still here. Hello, good. I've got a contingency plan. We're all right. Moondog, Spurs by 44 quid. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's not really expensive, but is it worth it? Do many of you subscribe to it? Or, the only thing I would probably really use it for, because I found it last year, it's very hard to see the pre-season games on any nefarious means, if you know what I mean. They weren't on TV at all. So I got it for just to watch a couple of the pre-season friendlies. But then I cancelled it because it just didn't look like there's anything on that I was interested in for the rest of the year. 45 quid over a month. I think it's 45 a year there, man. 600 by the end of the show. Well, I don't let this. I don't want to set targets. You never know. Pat Foley, hello, Paul. Glad your channel is starting to grow. Always tune in when I can. Oh, nice one, man. Well, as a reward for you, all you lot tuning in, there is some Ange goodness I saw this morning. That's not Ange goodness. Look at that. Came up on my Twitter. I have to disinfect my phone now. It's horrible. Look at him. Do you still want him at the centre back? Where is it now? Where is it? Don't tell me I haven't bookmarked it, have I? I haven't booked it. Oh, here we go. All right. If you just excuse me for 1 second, as usual, I came in, I didn't blow my nose, and I don't want to inflict that on you. So just back in a second. There we go. All right, so where's it gone? Okay. So we did the Fabrizio, Mickey van der Ven. We've already talked about him. Now, I don't know where this quote is coming from, but the Spurs Express is talking about his football philosophy here. So I don't know if this is a new interview or whether it's something that he said before, but it's a bit of Ange goodness, isn't it? And they've got that picture there, look at the blue cockerel. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, Ange Postecoglou. Lovely. All right, so he says, there's been some constants in my career over the last 25 years. Some things I really believe in that are unshakable in my beliefs. I like my team to have the ball. I want us to be aggressive in everything we do. I want us to play in the opposition half. How about that? That's a novelty, isn't it? I don't want us to be passive at any stage. Those are the fundamentals. But within that, you find that as you go along, you get challenged by unbelievable teams with great qualities and their own sorts of way of playing, and you need adjustments. So, I've heard, a few people say, "Oh, is Ange just a one-trick pony? Is he bollocks?" I mean, he's got a way he likes to play football, but it's not like if the other team come at us, he goes, "Oh shit, the other team's got the ball. Don't know what do we do? I only know how to play football when we've got the ball." He's got a few more arrows in his quiver than that, as old Ange. And I'm going to use my mouse. Here we go. I really do feel like an old fart that can't use a computer these days now. I used to be so in with the technology. Now, oh God, I'm bloody useless at it. And you know what? I don't care. Okay. It does a 600 on hours, Paul, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know. So maybe YouTube's taking a couple of subscribers cut there, so they're letting you lot know 600, and they just cut. They're holding back on me. They're trying to do me out of a Ritz cracker every month, the buggers. Paul, this is 24Z. Paul, you reckon we are leaving it fine with these transfers as pre-season starts soon? We need these players in. You know what? I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking for some reason. Like last year, I was a bit more, in your frame of mind. Thinking, what's going to happen? But then we got started getting players in. Look, I just see that we're being linked with enough of the right, sorts of players in the ballpark of what we need, and the competition to sign these players doesn't seem to be too great, because all the big teams seem to have defenders for a start, so that puts us in a good position. I'm not really panicking. And we've got a lot of players that do need, that will benefit from pre-season anyway. If you're buying players in, you're going to assume that they're going to be better. And yeah, I like them to be from day one of Ange's regime on 1st of July, 6 days away. But if they're not, I'm not panicking. I would like them to be in before, before they start playing pre-season friendlies. But I'm not nervous. I mean, maybe I should be. I'm not saying I'm in the right here. Maybe I'm being a little bit complacent. Maybe I'm thinking, it'll be fine. She'll be right. We've got Ange. Don't worry about it. And maybe you just need to be getting a little bit, champing at the bit, getting these players in. If anything, I'm champing at the bit to piss players off. That's what I really want to see happen. Get them off our wage books. But for some reason, I'm a bit chill, and maybe I shouldn't be. But whether we're excited or nervous or happy or angry about the way the window's going, it's not going to affect it anyway, is it really? So feel how you're going to feel. But yeah, interesting that you're feeling that way and I'm not. It's weird because I was expected to be feeling that way myself, but I'm not. I think it's just Ange Postecoglou, man. I just trust him. Poppy Spur, yeah, man. The pub scene is abhorrent here. TAB in Brisbane. Even worse than Sydney. Even worse than Sydney. With TABs in the pub. For that, maybe people in other parts of the world or England don't know this, but you go into just a normal pub. I'm not talking about anything bloody special. A normal local pub. And there'll be a whole area full of poker machines, and then there'll be another area with TV screens and fucking horse races and dog races all over it, and you can just put bets on. It's out. I'm not a fan of gambling, as I may have mentioned once or twice. I just don't like it. And I'm going to go to a doctor today. I'm going to go and get a prescription for Zyban because a couple of mates of mine have taken it. Heavy smokers, and they describe it as like having a bit of a lobotomy. It just takes the bit of your brain out that likes smoking. So I'm thinking I'll give it a go because I do enjoy it. I do enjoy nicotine, helps me concentrate. But I just don't like it when I run out and I'm like fucking panicking. I don't like being a slave to shit, you know. So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. 24Z. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not paying £45 for that. It's a lot of money for like the odds behind the scenes of Ryan Sessegnon putting on his socks. Exclusive Spurs play. Ryan Sessegnon doing up his shoelaces on some stupid colour boots because no football player plays in black and white boots. It's the only colour football boot should be is black, maybe with 3 stripes on them. I'll give them that. 3 stripes for Adidas, maybe a swoop for Nike. Who else is there? A little white for Puma, and that's about it. But all these fluoro colours, it gives me a migraine watching it. Makes me think I'm at bloody an Erasure concert with lights everywhere or something. It's just, Stringfellows. It's a bloody football game, but make it mandatory that every boot has to be black. That's what I want to see. I want my game back. That's what I'm saying. Just give me my game back. Shamu Van. Basically, $100 for Spurs play. What a joke. Well, yeah, I'll find a stream somewhere. Yeah, I struggled last year, man. I know there are nefarious ways of saying I'm not advocating privacy, even though it looks like half the bloody internet is based on advertising VPNs and stuff where you can pretend you're in Alaska so you can watch it on Peacock or whatever. But yeah, no, it didn't pop up in the list, so I thought, oh fuck it, I'll buy it. And I was very underwhelmed, really. I was all hyped up on the Conte thing. Then I thought, oh, he's making them run and vomit. That's going to be a good idea. Turns out that I don't know fuck all about coaching because it probably was a bad idea to do that. I thought just punish them, make them run. And it's too. Apparently, he's making players run 2 or 3 Ks before each game. I don't know, man. I'm no sports scientist, but that just doesn't seem to be like a very good idea to me. No other options, just 45 quid. Oh, all right. What's he going to pay for a free? Fuck that. Fuck off, Tottenham. Pommy Spur, if we sign Maguire, oh my God, the fucking season. I don't think that's happening. I think there's been a few, I think Batman's been popping up and throwing a few, or Ninja has been throwing a few smoke bombs here and there to take other teams off the ball, maybe to get Man United in a little bit of a complacent mood, make them think, we're going to switch down the Oasis and switch off Coronation Street. We're going to sell Harry Maguire. We're going to offload him. Pint of Newton Ridley, please bet. And we've just done them. We've just done them because there's no way we're buying that twat. And it's too late for Man United to do anything about him. They've all factored in getting a few bucks from Maguire. Excuse me. And we've played them like a Stradivarius. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope we don't sign. We can't sign. God, come on. I hope not. The other players, I like. Where's my mouse gone? The other players I'm like the look of. Van der Ven. I did a video yesterday, and it's one of the. Sometimes I do a video. I don't understand YouTube, but I'm just going to keep doing it my way. One day I'll do a video which I think I quite like, and it'll get 2 views. And then I'll do another video which I quite like because I quite like doing all of them, and it will get a couple of thousand. And I really don't understand what I'm doing differently. I really don't. But I liked Sean Butler's video yesterday. He did about Van der Ven. He talked a bit about him. I forgot to say in my video yesterday that the one stat I did look at Van der Ven was how fast he can run, which was like nearly 38 kilometers an hour. So I don't give a shit. Like you could be total arse at football. If you can run at 38 kilometers an hour, you're going to get the ball before some bozo running in, especially if you're playing Ange's in the other half football, and it's like, oh shit, the other team's got to get the ball. We've got to peg it back. The guy will be back there having a cup of tea, sandwich, maybe a smoke, and just kick the ball out of play. That's all he's got to do. He's going to get the ball. He's going to get to the ball first time every time. So That's what I like. A good fast player. It's going to be interesting. That I'm excited. So I'm excited about him. The Tap Sober, the Ito. There's loads of centre backs we're being linked to. The whole Harry Maguire thing, I think, was a bit of Paul Daniels, a bit of Hans Moretti, bit of now that's magic, that sort of thing. Paul Daniels still alive? I know he turned into a bit of a miserable git in his older age, but it was quality Saturday night viewing, watching some guy blow big bubbles. Variety TV is long gone, isn't it? Pommy Spur. I'm longing for an Ange motivational kick-off interview in the Mighty Spurs. Oh, dude, so am I, man. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. If it's anything like the Celtic one, he's going to do really well at it. What they did at Celtic, and I don't know if this is a Celtic thing or whether this is an Ange thing, but I think it's a really good idea, actually. I can't see the big fat cats in the Premier League teams doing this, though, because, they're all big and above the people, aren't they, football clubs in England? But they, a lot of the press conferences in Scotland, or at Celtic anyway, I don't know about other teams, I didn't really look, because I don't want to hear what Michael bloody Beale says. They did the first section where Ange is talking to the journalists and they're all asking him wanky questions because they're all pissed on Scotch bloody journalists, and then he went to another room downstairs and that was like fan YouTubers and they were asking him questions, and the questions the fans were asking him, I mean, for one, they were really respectful as well, even though they didn't know the guy. They would have had doubts, understandably, about the guy, but they were just asking interesting football questions, which I really enjoyed. What formation are you going to play? What about the team spirit? It's like football shit. And I would love to see them do something like that at Tottenham. And then what they did was for a lot of the conferences, fans would be remote, and so a lot of the Celtic fan channels got the chance to say, well, here's the question I asked Ange, and play the video, not video, usually audio, them asking a question, and Ange, it's not like he's a big time Charlie. He's not Showtime Shirley. He actually gave really thoughtful answers to every single question that he was asked. It was really impressive. I really like the guy. He just, can you imagine Conte doing that? Conte being asked, talking to fans? No way. He's just or Jose. No, Harry Redknapp. Yeah, he would. Potch. It was Potch. I can't remember his name. Sorry about that. I forgot to switch my mic off. No, Potch, like I said yesterday, I want Potch. Potch, is your duty to write another tell-all book about the Chelsea players, about why the mood was shit when you went in there, just like you did at Tottenham. Who's got the smallest willy, all that sort of stuff, all that sort of sauce and juice that the Sun like, and then disrupt them all and leave them right down at the bottom. And then, no, you don't get forgiven, man. You don't get forgiven. I don't hate Potter going to Chelsea. I just don't like anyone that's not a Tottenham, really. So, but as I keep saying, it's a harmless hate. It's a harmless hate. It's not like real hate. It's like, I bloody hate you lot. But we're all the same on this planet. We have more football than we've got less dugger, haven't we? That's what I reckon. I seriously think that. I just think if the human species occupied their more time in sport and things like that, we wouldn't be worried about this other shit that we engage in the world, because it does bring people together. 24Z, big up, by the way, Paul. Nah, don't worry. The big up is an assumed knowledge there, mate. I understand. Hey, Jose, ¿cómo estás, compañero? Hello, the mighty Paul. Mighty. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. These puppies don't walk themselves, mate. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Just did 500. I don't know what you call them. 500 of them That's all you're doing, actually. That's the exercise. So no wonder I'm built like a pipe cleaner. Okay, fair enough. I'm just scared we're going into the season like we are now with this defence. Oh, look, yeah, no. If we go into this season with this defence, I'll be up there. I'll be pissed off alongside you, man. I will not be happy about that at all. That would be absolutely outrageous, wouldn't it? You know, I can't see it happening, man. I can't see it. It's too important. You know, I'm sure, you know, the tabulator in the Spurs analytical department, like I keep saying, he's seen this new column. GA? What's GA? Goals against 63? Fuck me, we need new defenders. I get your point. Definitely says 24Z. We are linked with the correct players. One issue's Levy. Yes, there is always the Ming the Merciless factor in there, isn't there? I'm not sensing much leaviness at the moment, though. That doesn't mean to say it's not going to happen, but I'm not having that Levy feeling, you know, like I got last year when we started with the Jed Spence thing, and I really fancied Jed Spence as a player, but then I saw it was Levy's taking control of the deal, and I'm thinking, oh no, who's signing this guy? What's he doing? And he's haggling over, like, you know, 2 bob and a carton of milk or something, and it's just, you know, as soon as you see he's taken personal interest in the negotiation. I mean, the other thing is, look, we don't officially have a manager yet, and we don't have a director of football, which is this role that everyone in football seems to think that we need these days. Do we bollocks need a director of football? Manager can do it all. We've got this Scott Munn bloke. I don't know anything about him either, but I suppose someone's got to sign the checks. And I guess if you've got Scott Munn in there and an Ange Postecoglou, then you get a bit less leaviness around the place. But it is always a fear. It always a little bit of a, you know, oh, what a beautiful bright blue shiny day. But everything looks wonderful. Everything's, oh, what's that cloud? It's fucking Daniel Levy, isn't it? And it's, so yeah, you know. Kim62, your humour and passion for our beloved club. Well, you gotta look, what's the point? Like I said earlier, if you're going to be a nutcase, if you're going to be into something, you might as well do it. You know, do it with all of your being. So I just find it fun to do. But it's priceless. Thank you very much. Breath of fresh air. You came to our lives when Ange was appointed, so you were meant to be just like Ange. No. Ange knows about football. You may have already gathered, if you've been watching this channel a bit, I don't fuck all about football. I enjoy watching it, but as soon as people start using words like pivot, and I heard someone, who was it? It was some podcast I was listening to the other day, and he was saying that Ange uses a pair of 8s, and the only picture I could have in my head was a pool table with a couple of 8 balls. And I was thinking, what's a pair of 8s about? Please don't explain it to me, anyone. What is a pair of 8s? It's just, I mean, it's a shit hand in poker or something. A pair of 8s. He probably meant wingers, I suppose. Why not just fucking say wingers? Why not use language of the common people? Why not call people, you know, forwards, wingers, midfielders, defenders, fullbacks, goalkeepers? That's about it, isn't it? Pair of 8s and a pivot on a false 9 and 10.5 running into half spaces. How am I supposed to bloody understand and comprehend anything about the modern game if that's all I'm hearing from all those numpties in the Fleet Street meatheads trying to sound like they're football scientists and experts? Bugger them. Just say the centre forward, a striker. God, if I hear this season someone say striker, it'd be like, we've rolled back the last 30 years of madness, and we're actually watching the game I grew up with, instead of a 9.5 who drops into the slot behind the fucking 2s, and there's 2 8s. I actually heard that. 2 8s. How can you have 2 of them? Ah, whew, feel better after that. It's nice to let it out, you know. Nice to let it out. He's smoking his bag. I stopped. Yeah, I don't. I don't really smoke. I just, you know, I used to smoke and I use the vaporizers. But the bloody thing is, if the vaporizer runs out, I can't get one of these. I just go and buy a packet of smokes, and I'm just fed up with it. I'll tell you what. I don't know if I like it when I've got it. That's the same thing because you know, I've been doing it so long. I can feel the nicotine. It just focuses me. You know. Yusarian, I was paying $42 Australian a month to watch Celtic. Since KO didn't play every game, every hoop games last couple of seasons, look like there are cheaper options to watch the EPL here in Oz. Thankfully, yeah, there's Optus Sport. I don't know if they're doing it. I don't know if they're doing it again. That's what I used last year to watch the Premier League until I ran out of money and, and think, you know, just had to cut a few corners. But Optus. But the problem is, it depends on the competition, man. That's where they get you. So you need Optus for Premier League. Oh, we're not in Europe, so that's all right. KO for League Cup or FA Cup. Paramount Plus for FA Cup. So if you want to watch Spurs, you need three lots of these things. It's just, I'm surely there'll come a day where they'll just let clubs broadcast their own games. There must be a way of doing that. And then you just cut out all this, you know, all the overheads from all these streaming companies that, you know, when streaming started, it used to be pretty bloody cheap, but now it's just as expensive as having cable TV, isn't it? It's ridiculous. I didn't put. I'll just read your comment out without putting it on the screen. But here is what the Yasarian from Catch 22 says. And well, I should put it up because I'm right in the middle of nothing at the moment. I'm in Wiradjuri country, which is not where you are. You were Wiradjuri, where you? I couldn't remember actually. Sorry, brain like a box of ducks. You know, I tell you what, man. I'm not going to get political here. But on the M4, like motorway coming from Sydney out west, there's a sign on a bridge you drive under, and it says "Welcome to Daruk country. Please drive respectfully." And I'm thinking, well, why'd you build a fucking road through it then? I mean, what do you mean drive? Hey, what? I don't understand. I don't. It was an NRMA advert, and I just thought, oh, look, that's so half-assed, such a half-assed sentiment, you know. You're driving through Daruk country on this bloody thing we dug up and ploughed and fucked around with. But, you know, just remember that. Drive like this, you know, peer over the wheel and be a bit respectful. I don't understand it. Anyway, back to football. 24/7, 24Z. Sean is so well spoken and intellectual, it makes me feel like a dumbass when I watch his videos, but they're insightful. I like watching. Yeah, I get what you mean, but I get the impression also with Sean, and I might be wrong on this. He's got a nice little stream of consciousness happening. So he gets he does a bit of research on players, which I like because I don't really do that. And then he just strings it together and talks till he runs out. And I kind of like that. I like that way of streaming. I like streamers who do that. I forgot in the video yesterday I did. I said I was going to tell you because I watched it back, and I said at one point, you know, I don't look at stats and things like that, but I will tell you what I do look at. And then I completely forgot about it. So I might as well tell you, lovely people, now is if I did mention this yesterday, but if a player does interest me, which is usually when we've already signed him, I try not to get too excited until I see a player holding a shirt. I won't look at their stats apart from how tall they are, because if they're taller than me, they're a better footballer than me. If they're shorter, I think, oh, what the bloody hell can they do on the pitch? Lionel Messi, that's about what our deal is. How fast they can run. But as far as YouTube goes, because, you know, remember, I did look at this yesterday, and look, we can do it now. I'll show you now how misleading bloody YouTube is. I won't be able to play any of these, thankfully, because for one, it'll make your eyes bleed, and two, it will give me a copyright strike, and I want to be a responsible citizen on YouTube while I'm here. Here we go. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. This is why I don't look at highlights of players. Look at that. Eric Dyer highlights, and there's bloody loads. Look at this. Eric Dyer's best skill, and it's like a selling point. It's in high definition. Wow. Wow. Look at this. Eric, I don't know if that's a good thing. Is like a bomb. Are they saying that's a good thing? Or are he just like, like a stink bomb with the best tackles? That'd be, how long is that video? That can't be like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Bullshit. Be like 5 seconds. Eric Dyer 29. Oh, I mean, look at this. Eric Dyer 2021. Amazing defending skills, Bloody hell. So what I tend to look at instead, and this is an example I can easily think of. I'll pick a game like CCV, ball touches, Rangers. So I'll pick a game, and I'll just look at all their touches during that game. Don't start moving, and that to me gives me. I might do that for a few games, and that'll give me more of a fair idea, because no one's. Let's just take that off the screen. No player's perfect. I'm not expecting them to be faultless, like Venus de Milo. I'd like them to have 2 arms though. But it just gives me more of a flavour than something that them or they're, Mr. 5%, always on the glean. I moved teams again. I know we moved 6 weeks ago, but I've got another offer for you, because I want another 5% of $50 million and a bloody car, So that's what I'll tend to look at, because highlight reels don't, very misleading. If Eric Dyer's got one, I could bloody have one. Yeah, I've got to watch Sean asked me to come on his channel last night for a stream, but I was asleep, so I was a bit late to the party on that one. So I'll have to watch that, see what he was talking about. It would probably turn out that it would be way above my head anyway, but I don't mind going on those streams and just adding in a silly comment from time to time, because I really, a lot of the time I don't really talk much sense. Sense is overrated. Gartsky, and showed a lot more respect and consideration to the fan question. Oh, okay, so you saw that as well. That it didn't he? I thought it was his whole manner and demeanour was different, wasn't it? Because I guess I don't know what's going on in his head, but journos are always looking for the easy line, aren't they? The easy story. With the fans, no matter, with Spurs fans, sometimes Spurs fans don't like each other and all this. We seem to be, a bit more amicable these days, which is nice, But at the end of it, everyone wants us to do well. Everyone wants to, see the team win and have a little bit of glory. And so when you're asking a manager questions, it's with that aim in mind. And Ange understands that, just like Bill Nicholson said, without fans, we don't have professional football. Bill Nicholson said, we must remember, I might get the word slightly wrong here, Bill Nicholson said, we've got to remember that without fans, we don't have professional football. So it's much better that we play the football they want to see and have a lot of them than to play the football that we want to play and have none of them. Something like that anyway. So Ange was, you're right, Ange was very respectful to the Celtic fans when he was answering questions. I'd love to see something like that happen at Tottenham. Maybe if I could ask him the question. I don't know why I'd bloody ask him that. That'd be the thing. Did you have a nice breakfast, Ange? I don't know. I'll just let him, talk. 24Z. Yeah, we need to get this right this summer. Yeah, well, we've needed to get it right for a few summers, man, haven't we? Oh, hang on. I saw 2 letters that I don't understand. Here we go. 24Z. You're spot on about the stats too, Paul. Okay. I'm young, but even this, XG, don't have a crucifix because I'm Islamic. But if I had one, I'd be doing that. I mean, yeah, expected goals. I am convinced that is. It's all about gambling, isn't it? It's got to be all about gambling. Really has. You know, giving the mug punters something to base what they're going to throw their money away on. Oh, 24 seeds. Levy haggling makes me nervous. It does. It drags things out. And often the haggling is over a player that turns out to be pretty shit, doesn't it? Hey, Derek, nice to see you. Evening, Paul. Evening, that's me. Evening, Derek. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Is this going to be an explanation? Right. Okay. Focus. Think. Here we go. Engage brain. 24Z says a couple of eights. Basically, Paul, you got the CDM and then two midfielders in from the eights, which basically are box-to-box midfielders. That should simplify it. I'm trying, man. But it's like if you sat me in front of fucking Pride and Prejudice, I'd start, you know, when they're all, you must be labouring under a misapprehension, Mr. Darcy. I'm there just glazing over, falling asleep, just Tweety birds going tweet, 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 tweet around my head. I kind of see what you're saying. Sort of. CDM, is that a central defensive midfielder? We used to just call them midfielders. That's what they were called, midfielders. Why does everything is so bloody specialised in football? It's like if a player plays half a yard outside his area of speciality, he turns into a bloody snowman and just melts on the. I just don't get it. You won't see this with like Ange ball, because people like to say it's all 4-3-3, which it sort of is, but there's a lot more to it. Because I watch it and I just see players running all over the fucking place, and I love it. That's what I like to see in football. You don't know who's going to pop up where on the end of one, threading one through. So maybe they're eights or CDMs or things or whatever, but I just see it as this lovely pattern of humanity playing out the beautiful game the way the beautiful game should be played. Totspurs, big up Paul and chat, big up Totspurs. I think things will start moving once Ange is on the 1st of July. Positives are at least we're linked with some very good players. Yeah, it's not like apart from Harry Maguire and maybe a bit of Sancho in there. I wasn't like really excited about that. But we're not being linked with total arse, are we? What's the latest on Maddison? Because that seemed to be getting a bit more positive. A player that I know all you lot are really excited about. I'm not fussed either way, but that's purely because I haven't seen much of him. So I'll go along in spirit with the masses. I'll take it you're all right because you've been watching him. If I search Maddison, top of the list comes Lee McQueen tweeting reports suggesting Maddison is edging closer. In my opinion, Maddison would be a quality addition. 20 plus goals a season. 20 plus goals. 20 goals. How many bloody goals do we need to score? So if Lee McQueen's right, let's have a look at the Premier League table. He's got me excited with his 20 goal claim. Let me have a look, because I worked out that we lost 15 points directly from defensive cock-ups last year, and without that it would have put us third. We would have been ahead of Man United on goal difference. So let's see what let's put the McQueen factor in. Come on. Here we go. There's the table. Let's do that, and we'll do this. Okay. So I had us up to 75 points, and he's saying another 20 goals. So there's 90 goals. Whoa. I mean, that's loads, isn't it? I mean, mate, league champions. Is it too early to talk about? No. I mean, it's like pretty second or a solid third. If the McQueen thesis is correct, and I don't know if it is. It didn't seem to help Leicester from getting relegated last year. So I don't know if you're right there, Lee. But it'd be nice if he was. But people are excited about Maddison. People are excited about Maddison. And I've just searched Maddison here, and I'm not seeing any real buzz from Newcastle about him. So maybe he's our guy. And if we're the only ones in the hunt, bugger these 60 million. I'll be throwing 59.5 on the table and saying take it or leave it. It's my final offer. I just had a I did have a text from Her Highness Queen Ellie, which I mentioned a film yesterday in the stream called Those Glory Days, which is an old Channel 4 film from the early 80s, which I remember seeing as a kid, and I remember enjoying it because I'm a Spurs fan, of course. And apparently it's on bloody YouTube. So let's see if I can get it and share the link with you all. Yeah, there it is. All those. Is that someone just holding something in front of the TV? No, that one. 2 minutes. Hang on. What? I think she's just done a trailer. Oh no, it's just a trailer. It's just a trailer. I thought the whole thing was legitimately on YouTube. But have you ever seen it knocking around? Really interesting film about a bunch of girls following the 60-61 double winning team. I'll give you the link to the trailer because it's fun. This one looks like it's a trailer. Hang on, how do I do this? Copy link address. There we go. Paste. There we go. Just a trailer. But a charming little movie. Where are we? Derek Smith. They're talking to themselves. Here we go. Pat Foley, hello. Hey boy, if you don't mind me asking you, what brought you out to Oz and what made you stay? I lived in California for 10 years. I regret leaving. It's for family bereavement. Sorry to hear that, man. Coming to Spurs. I just came out as a backpacker. It's a long old story. But I'm still here. I have no real. I prefer the weather, I suppose. The things I miss are football, pubs, and central heating for about 2 months of the year, and I don't know, other things as well. But here I am. Here I'm going to stay. I've got 2 kids, so maybe if they start globe-trotting around the world, they're both grown up now. Then I might spread my wings a little bit. I don't know. But until that happens, I'm here. Dyer should have low lights. Yeah, Eric Dyer cock-ups. The not the sizzle reel, the fizzle reel. Dyer has had some good moments, says Derek Smith. But unfortunately, he's way too inconsistent. And if defenders fuck up, then the opposition are either in on goal or scoring a goal. Attackers get more latitude. Well, I think Eric Dyer is absolutely useless as a defender. I know defenders make mistakes. Everyone's a human, but his whole attitude to defending just seems to be so wrong to me. He just, I've said it before. He runs away from the players. He backs off. He doesn't put a boot in. He makes his body profile as narrow as possible to show them as much of the goal as possible. He is caught out of position all the time. And then when the shit goes down because he's done something stupid, he's pointing the finger in 11 languages to all the other players. Don't like him. But you agree an upgrade definitely needed. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, sorry. And the Celtic fan media asked more respectful questions to Ange. The mainstream got the mate treatment for it. Yeah, that's right. Because the journos are after the big stupid headline. They're trying to make him look like an arsehole, basically, aren't they? That's what they're interested in. Anytime they're interviewing someone, the more of an arsehole they look, the more exciting their story, the more clickbait they get through their things, through their articles, where fans just want to know, what's the plan at the club? What we're going to do? What changes are you going to bring in? Things like that. What do you think of the club? I wouldn't even call them soft pass questions, because there were a lot of interesting questions, but it's the intent that's not there, isn't it? That little bit of malice. I'm trying to screw you, Ange. You say something wrong here, and I'll do you, because I'm a journalist. I don't even have to do Pitman shorthand. At least journalists had to learn basically a different language in the old days. Now they just have recorders. They all stick their phones up there, and then they start ringing and pissing everyone off. Bloody lazy journalists. 24Z. In front of the central. Oh no, here we go. Oh, I know you're trying to educate me, man. I appreciate I appreciate your patience. All right. Okay, here we go. In front of the central defensive midfielders are 8, according to experts on Postecoglou's system. I don't know what that means, man. Are they like wingers then? I don't know. Why are they called 8s? Why are they called 8s? I mean, what if we're going to start calling players by numbers? Why don't we just go back to the days I used to like? Where you had 1 to 11 on their back. It was so easy, 1 to 11. So you could see who number 6 was, because they'd have a big number 6. And now people are telling me that a 23 is an 8 and a 14 is a 6. I can't do it. When you get to the age of, I don't know, 25, your brain's done, isn't it? That's it. No more stuff going in. So, if the Premier League, they wanted to have their bloody way and sell more shirts and merch and all that. I've got a great idea. Smoking their big fat cigars and their big leather couches, stuffed shirts. Hey, I've got a great idea for you. What we'll do is we'll change the numbers from 1 to 11. We'll stick any old fucking number on their back with their name. Think of all the shirts we can sell then. Don't do that and then come back and say a 14 is a 6. I don't fucking understand it. Oh, okay, here we go. 6 is a CDM, 8 box to box, 10. Why? I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sure you know what you're talking about. You're obviously, got a functioning mind. Modern day stuff right there. What a load of absolute bollocks. Pommy Spur. I think it was the NRMA that had an entire advert of someone holding a koala with trees in the background, nothing else, just implying they're saving koalas. You're right. I'm not saying the NRMA is a bad organisation, by the way. When I have a driver's license, fucking school zone 5 kilometres an hour, lost my last points. That's why I'm sitting here tossing it off all day, because I can't work. They're a fine organisation, but don't have a big sign across a highway saying you're driving through some traditional Aboriginal country, be respectful, and it's a fucking huge highway. Or like you're saying, what's the koala got to do with? Basically, for those who don't know, NRMA is roadside assistance. It's like the AA. It's like the RAC. You break down, you go, or in my case, which used to happen often. I left my lights on again. Can someone give me a jump start? Yeah, you'll be here in 2 hours. Yeah, no worries. That was what I used to use the NRMA for. But just advertise that. Don't make me feel guilty for driving on a highway that some government's built on someone else's land. Anyway, Chris, Meta Football TV. Things are already happening. Oh, ... with some ellipses there. I assume that there's another message further down. But what is happening, Chris? What is happening? Just leave me hanging like that. It's like the end of, the old 30s serials like Rocket Man or Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers, where, you'd at the end of the episode where Rocket Man just, I don't know, he's turned a knob and he's just blown up. And then next time you see it, he turns a knob and doesn't blow up. And you think, they fucking with my mind. I thought he blew up and died. You just changed it. You've cheated. So don't cheat with ellipses. But I think things are already happening, man. Yes. 24/7. Apparently bidding for Maddison this week. Spurs are pushing. For fuck's sake, what a pregnant lady, yeah. It is like that, isn't it? Pushing, But if we're the only people in the game, we're the only people in the game, which is exciting. Oh, I just gotta have a little pause here because I've been on a rant there and I've hyperventilated again, haven't I? Oh, it's just calm down. If I run out, oh no, I've got a slurp of coffee in a non-offensive mug today. Good. 24. Are they talking to each other? I prefer easy. I won't lie. Yeah, just stick the numbers on the backs. Call midfielders, defenders, strikers, and goalkeepers, wingers, fullbacks. Easy. Derek Smith. I'll be excited about Maddison when Spurs release a picture holding in the shirt. Yeah, if that happens and I see him holding a shirt, then I'll be all over looking at shit on YouTube, what he does in games and things like that. But until that, I'm not going to get hyped up over it. There you go, it's run out. The anxiety cycle starts now, doesn't it? Ooh. Here we go. Cold turkey. Although you're supposed to keep on smoking it when you take the pills. One day you just don't feel like vaping anymore, which, it'd be pretty cool. Here we go. Daniel McAlpine. Hi from South Africa. Hello. Celtic fan. What do you think of reports Ange wants 4 of the Celtic players to Spurs? Hail, 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 hail. What reports are these and what are the players? The only I've seen rumours of like Hatate, Kyogo. They seem to have fizzled out though. It doesn't seem like there's much movement out of Celtic at the moment, does there? You've got old Brendan Rodgers back in, and he seems to all Brendan Rodgers seems to be doing is trying to swallow as much shit to say sorry for leaving halfway through a season. But good luck to him. I hope he has a success at Celtic. He's a good manager, but too much and he might go again. But I'm excited. I'm kind of not interested that much in Celtic players personally, pretty much because I think you've got a good team there and you've got an exciting team, and I want to see what Celtic can do in Europe next year, because they didn't quite get the rub of the green last year in some of the games, and to see Celtic through to either through to the Europa Cup or through to the last 16 in Europe would be something pretty exciting for the fans up there. You do have a couple of players I don't mind though, so I wouldn't mind nicking them. I like Hatate and I like Kyogo. Jota, I don't know if he'd fit with Spurs, but I don't know. But basically, whoever Ange wants, I'll have. I don't care. So, but it would be nice to see how those players do this year at Celtic. See if Brendan Rodgers can continue. Hopefully he's not going to just rip it all up and start again, which he may do a little bit because he doesn't play quite the same football as Ange. No one plays the same football as Ange, let's face it. I'm just going to have a quick check for kangaroos because I saw some yesterday. No, they were hopping down the street at the front though, so it's looking at the back. There's no kangaroos there at the moment. Okay. Rubes. 85 says you can get lost in the weeds if you start applying numbers to modern systems. It honestly doesn't matter. Yeah, thank you. I just don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't be bothered with it. Here we go. Sorry, Paul. They're just centre midfield, box to box midfielder. You're right. The wingers are the ones who are isolated on the touchline in his system, like Jota. Well, he does play with wide wingers. I do know that much. And it seems to work very well. And I think Kulu's going to like that. I think Kulu likes playing in that sort of position. I think Sonny won't mind it either. We'll see how we go. It's I mean, even though he plays with wide wingers, they do come in a bit. If one's out here, the other one will try and get to the far post. Knock one in with his bonce, or definitely touch one in with his ankle. So it's going to be fun watching. Crispers. Hi, Paul. Just saying hello before I go to bed, man. Dyer defends like a fucking wet paper bag. Yeah, you're right. But terrible. But let's not think of Eric Dyer as you're about to put your head down on your pillow. Think of a bit of Tottenham Hotspur glory instead. Dream a bit of what may be. Or if you're as old as me, think of the times where we did actually lift cups. Steve Perrin, and the fan ran up and gave him a hug, and no one gave a shit because football was fun. And I've heard Steve Perriman, I think that in the 81 final, when Perriman lifted the cup and this bloke runs out and sort of gives him a hug and then sort of turns around, I think it looks like he's talking to the authorities and saying, look, sorry, mate, I just had to. Steve talks about that guy quite fondly. I think that fan is no longer with us. But it's not like Steve is all there, yeah, and the moment I lifted a cup, bloody fan came and ruined it. It's like, no, it's a pretty cool moment. So, a bit more of that in football, I want to see. Man, stand there, do thing, number irrelevant. Yeah, I know. Here we go, a bit of Pat Foley action here. If we sign Madison, he will transform our midfield, playing pockets. Another term, pockets. I'm not saying anyone's wrong for using these terms. All I'm saying is I'm an old fucker that I don't get, and there's no need to explain it to me. But playing in pockets, why not? Is that like space? I've noticed with Ange ball, there's a lot of quick passing triangles. There certainly is. A form of football that was pioneered. I thought it was pioneered in 1951 by Arthur Rowe, but apparently Arthur Rowe credits to the guy who's managing Spurs in 1921. It's over 100 years of 1-2 triangle football. 100 years, 102 years of Tottenham reinventing football from some boring old cack to the game we love today. It was Tottenham bloody Hotspur Football Club that did that. People say, Barcelona, Johan Cruyff, No, it's Tottenham Hotspur. Fact. Bear that in mind when you hear, what's his name? What's that Chelsea? Rory Jennings. Oh, God. Bear that in mind when you hear Rory Jennings. His team didn't invent football as we know. It was us. Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry, I missed what you're saying here. Playing triangles. Midfield to wing to forward. Yeah. Madison's perfect. Okay, well, it's what everyone's saying, man. Everyone's saying. And if what everyone's saying is right, I mean, I think I'd go along with the ZI here, who's saying Madison taps over Van der Ven, we're cooking. Adding Vicario there, looks like we've got the keeper. I think you're right. I think it's looking pretty tasty, actually. It's not looking like a bad team at all, is it? Not looking like a bad team at all. Get some of these clowns out the door, and we're all right. Zeddy also says, if we're the only people in the game, mate, we're going to get Madison on a good deal. We might well do, unless there's some European club sniffing around I haven't really heard of. It just looks like it's us and no one. And I don't think Madison is going to hang around, playing championship football. Maybe he's got a special deal on the Willie Thorne Snooker Club, but I don't know if that's enough to entice someone out of the Premier League. Bloody nice snooker club there, though. Good old Willie Thorne. He was a good old character. Derek Smith. So Madison with Ndombele as backup impact player. Look, my jury's out on Ndombele. He could be. That'd be. Ange will have to cast his gaze over and suss him out whether he's up to it or not, whether he could do it. It didn't look like he played for a whole load of minutes for Napoli, which that makes me think he's the guy training hard if he can only come on for 5 or 10 minutes. But when he did come on for 5 or 10 minutes here and there, he did seem to affect games. I think we need a player that can play more than that, though. Really, put a bit more of a shift in. Chris Matt Football TV. Okay, I'll give you a sneak peek. On Tuesday, there's going to be a second round of talks with a player that has apparently turned us down. More on my channel. You're giving us the old, giving us a bit of a teaser treatment here. Chris, I might have to tune into that. Okay. Well, say no more. Say no more. If you want to know more about that, you got to go here. Go here to find out this. Although, wait, hang on, turned us down. Turned us down. Unless it's like, I can't even think of a player I'd have who turned us down at the first off, unless we were really fucking him about. But nah, turn us down. Who are you to turn Tottenham Hotspur down? Oh, Manny. Yes, it is Manny. Yes. Good morning, brothers. How you going, man? Good. 24Z. Eze is the player at Palace, Paul. 24 years old. Plays attacking mid. Very talented. Can drive with the ball. Free kicks and spots a good pass. I like him. Okay, that's cool. See, there's a lot of players around. Isn't it weird? Like last season, it didn't seem there's... Well, there was a lot of movement actually, though, wasn't it? Because Chelsea bought, 500 players for a start. Liverpool kind of bought bugger all, didn't they? Newcastle bought a couple. Arsenal have been buying, steadily over the last few years. Arteta, the charlatan with his fake light bulb. Yeah, try get your players to hold this light bulb and light it up. Smart ass twat. That ain't gonna work, is it? I'm not worried about Arsenal this year. I think they've had it. They've done. That's his best shot. I mean, fair play to them. They won in a couple of FA Cups, but that's it. The old cronkies are going to start, wearing thin on the old Arteta experiment. Maybe they'll get in Graham Potter. Wouldn't that be nice? Halfway through the season. Ooh, licking my lips in anticipation for that one. Sam Allardyce. He probably needs a bit of work. Is he at left Leeds? Hey, cronkies. Whatever you do, don't sign Sam Allardyce as manager. It would make me very scared as a Tottenham player. Don't do it. Reverse psychology there. Ooh, never fails. Here we go. Hail. Dick Smith, that game up, smoke. I've been vaping for 3 years. Yeah, best thing about it dropped from 600 a month to around 20 years. Sensible. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It is a lot cheaper, and it is better for you. But I kind of just don't like being beholden to it, I guess, Jota is a player I'd like to see at Spurs. Yeah, good little player. Hey, hello. What time is it? 9:44. I don't keep janging around there too much. Hey, David, how you going, man? Big up, Paul. I hope you're well, man. I certainly am. And I'm looking forward. To getting back for the pre-match builders. Aren't you excited, David? Aren't you excited that before each game we're going to be? Oh, I can't wait for this. It's fucking hell, you need to like inject yourself with a bit of adrenaline just to, get going. It's going to be a good season, man. Ribsy and Odd Spurs, a link up I want to see. Okay, all right. So people are getting bloody excited. Thank you, Paul. Says 24Z. Thank you, Paul. People are down in Kulu too much for me. Oh, I must be honest. I've been a bit of a Kulu doubter this year. I think you'll enjoy it. Be a challenge, beating the man 1 versus 1. I'm hoping so. If he gets back to the year before, and there's every chance he might do it. He might just He might have been played out of position, coming back from injury, asked to play dog shit defensive football that he doesn't want to do because he's a forward-thinking player. If we get that player back, then, well, remember 2 years ago, how many goals did their front three score then? And then with, what's his name, Lee McQueen, saying if we get Madison, it's another 20. Like, we're going to win the league by 50 points with all the predictions people are making. The collective now for a group of kangaroos is a mob. Is it? I might investigate that. I didn't know that, but there was 3 of them out the front earlier. Hey, Irish Hotspur, everyone in the chat. Howard. Evening, Paul. How you going, Howard? Nice to have you here. Chris Met Football. Johan Cruyff wasn't alive in 1902. He's my hero. Oh, yeah, no, Johan Cruyff was an awesome player, wasn't he? I can only barely remember him as a player. But all my point is, total football was invented in 1921. 1921 by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It was then passed through the lines of Arthur Rowe to Ferenc Puskás to Johan Cruyff. That's the family life cycle of total football. It all started in North London, N17. What's his name? Manny, love to hear a chat between you two, Irish Hotspur. Oh, I know who's he talking about. Paul, do you think Mighty Ange, the Greek Adonis, okay to the Cairns? I think his hands are all over it, man. I think he looks like a yeah, of course. He was. I saw somewhere where he has been given, like, veto final say on players coming and going, which doesn't always mean that phrase is not all it's cracked up to be sometimes, because you could just be offered shit player after shit player and have to say no. But I think Vicario, I remember it was you I was talking to, David, that you were swinging me around on the whole Raya thing, because I was like, why the fuck aren't we buying Raya? And in your level-headed wisdom, you said, hang on there, big fella. Maybe Brentford are just taking the piss with the price, and I think you're right. I think they were, and I'm liking the look of Vicario. He's like 10 foot tall, and moves. He's as quick as a cat that's been booted up the arse. He's great. I love it. So definitely, Big Ange has got his mitts all over that. His big bloody hands all over it. Very exciting, man. Very exciting. Talking amongst yourself. Here we go. Derek Smith starts his comment with words I like to hear. Bill Nicholson played an attacking brand of football. His push and run strategy from 1958 to 1974 emphasized rapid, one-touch passing and dynamic off-the-ball movement for relentless attacking play. Arthur Rowe, Giselle push and run, but Bill Nick, and that carried on through past 74 as well, after Bill Nick retired, because after Terry O'Neill incident, we got Keith Birkinshaw, and Bill Nicholson was still around as a scout. And I saw loads of this bloody, like, some of the goals we scored, or the speed we moved the ball up the pitch, it just blew teams away. They didn't know how to handle it. Unfortunately, with that style of play, and we had such geniuses as well, the Hoddles and Ardiles and Ricky Villiers and Tony Gowins, and there's so many players. When it doesn't quite click, it can be quite average as well, because it is right on the. To me, it's on the right cutting, bleeding edge of football. So it's understandable to me that sometimes it doesn't quite, get there. But it got us a lot of trophies. It got us some title challenges, and in Bill Nicholson's case, it got us a double, as well as the first European trophy by a British club. So, we were just a little bit short of it in the 80s, but still great. It's possible for that sort of football to work. That style of football can still work today. How many times do we see teams score a goal out of nowhere? And I'm not talking about counter-attacking bollocks where you're just sitting back waiting for a team to come onto you, and you're just faffing around there, having a fag, and then you just kick the ball over the top, run up and score. It's like, no, every time you get in the ball, you're bloody relentless. You are hammering. It's like a nail being hammered in by by a Spurs medical department hammer, bang, 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 until the other team just collapses. It's brilliant. I'm ready for the ride this year, Paul. Well, that's nice to see because we did share some rough old times last year, man, and it was it was really great coming on your shows, doing build ups and chatting Spurs, man, because it was the worst season I can remember, man, and you helped me get me through it, and Irish Hotspur was the first channel I bothered coming on to have a chat. So thanks for putting me on this path, David. And we're going to have a happy year this year. I can feel it in my water, or I can feel it somewhere between my stomach and my spleen. Not exactly sure what you call that thing, but it's the nerve center of when you feel something good's going to happen. That's where it is. I'm not pointing to my cock. I'm pointing to my stomach. Here we go. Philek Isaacs in as a subscriber before the 1,000 mark. Get in. May your channel grow rapidly. Hail, is that hail or Hotspur hippie? I'll take either, man. Either. I'll take either as a compliment. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the wishes. Yeah, I can't wait. Start milking some of that YouTube money. I might, get my beard finally, hair dressed, and I don't know. I can't even joke about preening this, and without wincing, I'll just turn into some bloody hipster. I'd say when I get 1,000 things, I'll sit here with a suit, and it'll be like a beard, but not, if you know what I mean. Those people who walk around with beards, they look like beards, but they're a bit not like beards. Bit too much, product. Whereas, there we go. Let it all hang out, man. Let it all hang out. But thank you for your support, man. Manny says, I can't wait to see Ange pumping in the crowd. I can't wait, man. That's going to be glorious, isn't it? It's going to be fantastic. I know we had, his magic, and I know we had Antonio. Ange Postecoglou is going to be a force of nature. He's going to whip the crowd up into a frenzy, and the crowd in turn will whip him up into a frenzy. We'll see a bit of this happening, bit of this, bit more of this, and a bit less of unacceptable. It's unacceptable. This fucking club is everyone's fault apart from mine. We're going to get the fucking Ange in there. That's what we're going to get. Everyone values David knows bloody everything about football. I know it's early for you, Paul, but who do you think will improve most? That's a good question. You know what? I suppose okay. I'll give you who I'd like to see improve most. I've just got a soft spot for Pape Matar, man. I think there's something exciting about him. I don't think we've seen enough of him. So I'm going to go Pape Matar, and I'll kind of chuck Basuma in, but his improvement, I can see being up to his Brighton levels before we bought him and I took all his talent away for half a year. I think we'll get him back up there. But, Pape Matar, man, because he's a runner. He's a runner. His first touch is brilliant. First touch, second touch, off the ball's gone, and he's just pissed off somewhere else to help the game progress. So I'm going to go Pape Matar. How about that? How about that one? But everyone's going to be improved. Everyone's going to be improved. But I just want to see that kid do well. I like it. I like his. There's something. He's like I can't explain it, man. He's got a bit of crackle. He's a very crisp player. Manny says Ange's passion will rub onto the players. They'll be as hungry as hell to win. Oh, you better believe it, man. You better believe it. You would have heard the Celtic players talking about Ange. It's going to happen at Tottenham. I don't care if they're all a bunch of namby-bamby flounces in their, luxury mink fur-lined ball pit, hard at work lifting helium-filled weights on elastic to make it more comfortable, sitting on exercise bikes that have got bloody motors in them, so they only have to look as if they're moving their legs, when in fact it's the bike that's doing the work. Running around, and if it's a bit chilly, like me, wearing 10 layers of clothing. There's no any of that crap, because Ange will get them hungry to win, and they will learn pretty damn fast that you win by being a little bit uncomfortable. You get a little bit humble, you get a little bit uncomfortable, and that turns into a bit of hunger. So I reckon you're right, Manny. I reckon good times are coming. Hungry as bloody hell. Because Ange is never going to be satisfied, you know that. We can win everything. He's going to want more, And once we win something, the players are going to love that feeling. The players are going to love that feeling. And they're going to want more and more and more and more of it. David, no, thank you, Paul, through all the bad times. You made me laugh. Helps me throw the reality of football. No, well, we've helped each other out there, man. It's been good. And I've said this a few times on the channel, but I really, because I'm usually watching games like midnight or 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's like dark. It's dark. I can't have the volume up too loud because I don't want to piss anyone off. And on the channel there's always some Arsenal arsehole talking us down anyway. So every time, and I'll tell you, everyone who's watching this, every time I always have the vision of the game, and I always watch the Irish Hotspurs watch-alongs, because I think Dave, Jack, and Sean are the dog's bollocks at doing it. I think they're a really, really good team, So I hope you're doing it all again this year, and I hope we will. I hope Sean will have less reason to smash his furniture up this year, and we'll have a bit of joy. Because you know what, I can't remember actually seeing a prolonged lot of happiness from you three, and it would be nice to see. Because we kind of get going and then it all fucks up, but we should be right. Manny says, I remember when I had a popular YouTube channel years back, and I was earning $30 a month, 30 large, as we call it in the YouTube trade. 30 large. I mean, what can that get you for? I can tell you what that can get you in Australia. That could get you 2.5 kilos of tomatoes. Not bad, eh? Can you believe that tomatoes are more expensive than chickens per kilo? I don't understand, because I thought that one of the benefits of being a plant is you can photosynthesize. You can turn sunlight into sugar and energy and shit, but apparently not in fucking Australia. A tomato needs more tending than a fucking chicken. So I hope you spend it wisely, or maybe, what else could you get with $30 for? You could get two Big Mac meals, eh? If you're going a bit hungry a month, don't knock it. Everyone, get your Ange Postecoglou songs in now, suggesting his workman. No, that's Men at Work, Land Down Under. Interesting thing about that song, it fell foul of a copyright claim. There's an old nursery rhyme going back, I don't know, bloody 50 or 60 years. Everyone that wrote it is long dead. It's one of these things where it's passed into estates. Kookaburra sits in the old oak tree, and there's a bit at the beginning of that Men at Work song where it's played on a flute. Do 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 do. Just that bit apparently infringed the copyright of this nursery rhyme, and they had to pay the estate loads of money. Total horseshit. Paul Buckingham, who played for Spurs his whole career. Okay, a bit of history here. Good. Paul Buckingham, who played for Spurs his whole career and under Arthur Rowe's push and run team, went to Ajax and Barcelona. His management influenced Johan Cruyff. Total football came from Spurs. Well, that I knew about the Arthur Rowe pushcast link, and you've just added another iron bar onto the case that Spurs invented football, total football. So Buckingham got it from Arthur Rowe and went to Ajax and Barcelona. I think I think, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we rest our case there. Case adjourned. Case adjourned. Tottenham invented football, proper football. Before that, it's probably just like playing a bit like rugby shit. Oh, you have the ball and run at us. Oh, we'll have the ball and run at you. Whereas Tottenham, fuck this, we're just going to play with your minds. You're not going to know where we are. You're not going to know where the football is, but you will know it's in the back of your net. That's where it's going to be. We did that. So thanks, Paul. Pat Foley. I'll have to do a bit of looking up with this Buckingham character. It's not someone I'm familiar with. So I like coming across things I don't know. Give me something to read on the couch today. Who we got here? At the moment, g'day Paul. Were fan here, but following Spurs with incredible interest since Ange's appointment. Watched him play foreign coach South Melbourne. Oh, okay, rightio. He's a humble, values-placed manager. Wish you all the best. Thanks, man. And humility and humbleness is not something that we seem to see or talk about too much in football. And I'm with you, man. I'm a firm believer that, as soon as you stop being humble in football, it'll just bite you on the arse. You've got to be as humble as that. You've got to stay grounded. You talk about how great players talk about managers that have been great for them, and they'll always say they kept their level head. Don't build them up too much. Don't bring them down too low. You just got to keep at that level of peak performance. As soon as you start getting a bit out your pram, you lose a bit of humility. You pile on a bit of hubris. That's it. You're gone. So thanks for the comment there. Is that West Ham? Sorry, what's happened? I don't like West Ham. Of course, I hate West Ham. But it is shit what's happened to West Ham with them moving their ground. That's awful. But I'm not going to get into that. It's a Spurs channel. Go and whinge to your Hammer fans about that. But nice to have you. Thank you. I'm with you. Saar, player you think. I'm with you on Saar. Player you think won't survive. That we all think there is always one. You're bamboozling me, Mr. Harris. I'm with you on Saar. Right. Player you think. Oh, okay. Player you think won't survive. That we all think will. There is always one. Oh, okay. All right. So you're asking me, is the player that we kind of fancy a bit that just won't be able to cut it, won't survive? So it's got to be a good player, isn't it? I mean, I can't just pussy out on this and say Ryan Sessegnon. Maybe a couple of weeks ago I might have said some. Look, I think what David's trying to get at here is not. We're trying to pick a player we like. We're not trying to pick a player we want to go or we don't want to do well or anything like that. But a player that we like that just somehow it won't work out for him. A couple of weeks I would have said Son, but when he came out with the comments about really wanting to play with Tottenham, play for Tottenham, when there were transfer rumours to Saudi Arabia, that said a lot to me. So I'd say Son. I'm swinging at Kulu. I mean, there's some easy pickings for me. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Skip. But I don't think I'd be alone in thinking that. I think a few people would be thinking that. I'll probably have to go Kulu. Yeah, Kulu. I still have this fear that he's not fast enough. And this is the idea of the question here. I'm not bagging Kulu and saying I hope he's shit. People will come back here. Yeah, you said Kulu would be rubbish, and he's been brilliant. I hope he is brilliant, and I like the guy. But if I've got to pick a player who I like that I think might struggle a bit, it could be Kulu. Fuck. It's a good question, Dave. Good question. What do other people think about that? What's a player that you really like, you really fancy, that you really do want to do well, but you think maybe it won't happen? Bloody good question, man. Derek Smith, they can't get much worse. The only player who was decent last game was Harry Kane. Yeah, I mean, there was no surprises who won player of the match, player of the season, was there? I expect a huge improvement from all these players. They should be excited to play under Postecoglou. They will be, man. They will be. They're going to be pumped. Absolutely pumped. Many a CD costs $30. CD. What's that? I don't even know what that is. I'm so young and hip. CD. I just do streaming in it. Streaming in it, and pressing and AI music in it. CD. Pat Foley. Chris style of play. It was influenced from push and run team. Then Buckingham using that style of system directly influenced Cruyff through the ages. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Vapor. Yeah, I don't want to talk about vapors anymore. I know what you mean. Yeah, get the juice them. Yeah, I know. I do it all myself as well. But yeah, nanny state, man. I might hedge my bets when I go to the doctor. I get a prescription for Zyban and one for nicotine. You know, there's commitment for you. Another South Melbourne fan. Yeah. There's a few that are coming over. This is nice to see because I saw a little bit of the NSL when I moved here before it all got fucked up and turned into the A-League, and that's what happens when you sanitize it. I know it had a bit of a reputation for a little bit of I don't know, unseemly behaviour sometimes, but the football was better, and it meant something, and really it was like, when I was going to football in the 80s, and people forget this was all Premier League, and football is this big glamorous thing that everyone seems to love now. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was more of a niche thing. Still the most popular sport in England by a long way. But I'd go to Tottenham and it wouldn't be a capacity crowd every game by any imagination. Football just wasn't the big popular thing it is now. And one of the reasons was it had a reputation for being, full of hooligans and violence, which did happen. But I can tell you, in all the games I used to go around, I saw, which would be like a couple hundred games, something like that maybe, I saw trouble twice, and that was it. And it was minor. One was a friend of mine got punched in the face by an opposing fan. That was it. It wasn't like a big melee. And then the other one was our own fans at Port Vale throwing an advert hoarding down the thing because we were getting a bit pissed off. But I never saw you hear tales of Man United fans running with Stanley knives and all that. I never saw any of that shit at all, and I don't feel that I actually went out of my way to avoid it. It felt like if that was your scene and you wanted to do it, then you would find out where to go. And I got that, and the NSL didn't have that bad a reputation as that. But I think there's a lot of things. If you don't want trouble, you can avoid it. You just be a little bit street smart, and you'll be fine. Just don't be a dick, and people won't be a dick to you. It's all about peace and love, isn't it? But I think you don't hear much talk about hooliganism and stuff anymore, which is cool. I mean, I never liked it, all that sort of thing, because I guess in the back of your mind, you think maybe is my luck going to run out one day, and am I going to walk down the wrong street after a game and get the bloody shit kicked out of me? And thankfully it didn't happen, but I'm sure it would have happened to other people. Yasu, hello there, Yogi. You live down from the road, from Elwood Park through the gory NSL days. Great club, yeah. Elwood Park, a bit more on that. Yasu. A few Greek people coming in. That's nice to see. Nice to have fisticuffs for turning up. About the only polite words I know in Greek. Everything else would probably get me chucked right off YouTube. Pommisberg, you may be a great believer in Ange. You're doing the club a great service here, man. Thank you. I honestly hope Ange gets wins of this and manages a post on here over the summer. Nah, man, he's got to manage the best football club the world's ever seen, hasn't he? He's not going to come here. I appreciate it, but I don't know. I think it was just the time that I just wanted to. It was a time I just wanted to start getting excited about bloody football, again, and good a time as any. So yeah, it's nice to see that some of, you know, because I do feel enthusiastic and buoyed up by it, and it's nice to see them, you know, that it's rubbing off on people. Yeah, if we start losing 20 games in a row, hopefully I won't pass on my severe depression and anxiety disorder that I have as well. Hopefully I'll be able to keep it a little bit light. Keep it light, Paul. Don't talk about mental health. Fuck's sake, man. Blind as a bat. Blind as a bat. Hello, man. Apparently we don't have Porro as we haven't qualified. What? Oh, we don't have to buy Porro. He'll cost us 33 million. Would you buy him? Yeah, fuck it. I think so. I think he's shown enough as a winger. You know, he does the sorts of things that I like, you know, a person in that part of the pitch to do. He can take free kicks. He can run with the ball. I'm not too worried about him being a shit-ass defender. If we really need him to do that, I think we could coach him into doing that. But we've got Emerson Royale. I like the cut of the jib of the guy. And I like, you know, on David's channel on the Irish Hotspur, they describe him, Porro, as the prison warden. Is Porro's prison. Because he has got, you know, he has got a bit of a presence about him, and you know, I like that in a player. So yes, I'd definitely buy Porro, definitely. Paul, I would love you to set. I would love for you to set up a GoFundMe so we can all help you get down to watch Tottenham under the Greek dynasty. Well, you know, I've got. No, I mean, yeah, I thanks for the sentiment, but I, you know, I've got other more pressing financial things at the moment than going to a football game. So maybe when I get all that shit sorted out, and you know, I've got another 2 odd months before I can start working again. So things are really incredibly tight at the moment. But when I start working again, it won't take me long to, you know, catch up a bit, and I'll have a nice shiny clean new license as well with 0 points, like resetting the clock, because I've been shitting myself driving around trying to scrimp and save on points, because they last forever in Australia. So I'll have a lot less pressure. You know, I'll be able to work a lot more. I'll be able to do a lot more videos out on the road when I come to interesting places. That's what I'm getting excited about, because I do, you know, do a lot of Ks, and I do see some interesting things. It'd be nice to, like, you know, talk a bit of Spurs in front of some interesting Sydney places or New South Wales places. But yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, no, I'll get my rent paid and all that first, I think, before I start thinking about that. But when I start milking in all these YouTube dollars, I ain't gonna fuck about anything. I'll have a bloody studio. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's all cool, man. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't want to get into my financial situation. Basically, I've got less than nothing at the moment. But it's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because if I'm not doing this, then I'm just going to be curling up in a ball in a state of depression. So thank you all for all you know, coming here and keeping me chatting. Really, I've enjoyed it, and before I've done this, I've enjoyed going on other people's channels and you know, keeping my brain ticking over. I've really enjoyed it. Amit Jethwa, love your Ange insights. Very, very optimistic and yeah, well, you know, there's double-sided sword to that, man. But let's hope the way I see it is, if it all turns to absolute shite, then at least I've had a bit of a dream and I've had a fun in the meantime. Because I know if it all turns to shit like it did last year, I'm going to feel pretty horrible about it anyway, and I'm not going to feel more horrible than having a bit of a high now. I'm just going to feel the same horrible. So I might as well feel good, and you know, dreams can come true. Can't wait for Ange to sort the mess out. Come on, you Spurs. That's it, man. That's it, man. Want to see kangaroos and koalas? That's right. Well, the video, there's a short video I did yesterday where there was a couple of 3 kangaroos in the front. I did that for Jacob, United Spurs of America, because when he was a kid, he wanted to be a kangaroo. So I think kangaroo is his spirit animal. So go and sub over to Jacob's channel if you haven't already. He's doing a new one called JB Plays as well. And the day before that, I saw a real life Eric Dyer in the wild. So that was another quick video as well. Buckingham influence to Cruyff. God, you know a lot of stuff here, Pat. This is good stuff, man. Thanks. Buckinghamshire influence to Cruyff was so big he became Godfather. Why does keep that? Godfather's one of his children. All right. Well, this is a player I am going to have to, because I will forget if I don't do it now, just so I can read up about this, because you're telling me a lot. Of course, I type in Buckinghamshire, Tottenham, and it's giving me fucking directions, isn't it? Vic Buckingham? Is that what we're talking about? Is it Vic Buckingham, Pat? No, maybe. You wouldn't have to. Hang on, Buckinghamshire, Tottenham. Maybe if I do Ajax. Derek Smith win or lose under Ange, it'd be entertaining. Yeah, it will, man. That's all. That's I've been saying. That's all I want for this year, man. Is I just want football to put a bit of smile on my face. That's all. I'm not after, the moon on a stick. Just football, and you accept. You win some, you lose some. That's the game of football. Ange the Greek Adonis, Lord of the Land Down Under. You're getting on this, man. You're getting on this. I love it. I love it. But, and I think I'll just show this quickly. You know what? People out there in internet Nutterland, you know what inspired me to get on the Ange Postecoglou choo-choo more than anything? Let me see if I can just. Let me just see if I can find this. You know what it was? It was one day I thought I'll log into my favourite Tottenham channel, the Irish Hotspur, because I could see they're doing a special on which manager they want to manage Tottenham, and I thought, oh yeah, they're bound to talk about Ange, my guy, and this is what they did. Look at this. I won't show it too quickly. They put a big red cross through him. But it's understandable. I saw all the Celtic fans do it. I've seen a lot of Tottenham fans do it. But, it's because no one's heard of him. No, what are you supposed to do? Like, just instantly want him to manage a club when you've never heard of him, and he's managed in some poxy leagues over the other side of the planet. But, David, I can see you getting excited. You're seeing more and more of him. And in fairness, a lot of Spurs fans are like that now. I'm not seeing really any negativity. I'm loving it, really loving it. And that's Ange Postecoglou for you, man. Paul, we're going to have some good times this year. Can't wait to enjoy them with you, my man. Yeah, come on, you Spurs. Damn right, David. It's going to be a fun year. Did you see Ange's speeches on YouTube of the Australia team? Oh man, I've seen. He's talking about, you're not going out there on your own, and would your parents be scared of Germans, or would my old man? I've seen all of it, man. I've been all of it because that's kind of what I lived through. The people. I would see these things as they happened. Like the first interview people have probably looked at him is with when he was Australian youth team, Craig Foster. That was the first time I actually saw the guy, because I was watching TV and that was on. So every now and then I'd see an Ange Postecoglou thing. But it's great that that's one of the good things about YouTube. Everyone's condensing all that experience and loving it and loving the guy. Anyway, you know what? I've been going a couple of hours here, and I think it's time to. I'll just check for kangaroos. Disappointing. Sorry, folks. There's no kangaroos at the moment. But there was a video I did yesterday where the 3 bounced by. Here we go. Paul, for the record, I've liked Ange and praised his works at Celtic and put a red through because the names he's up against. I mean, that was it. He was up against it's like your football manager type names, isn't it? We didn't think Levy would have the balls to do it because of the unrest. Yeah. But you know, the right man came through. And yeah, old Jacko, I do like to remind Jacko of it from time to time. But you know, it's all in good fun. I asked Jacko, I told him about Ange, and said if we didn't take a gamble, someone else would. Yes, man. Yes, man. Well, we're all there now. We're all there. Thanks, David. Thanks for the words of encouragement. I will. Thanks to everyone in the chat because you know, without you lot there, I'd have nothing to go on about because it's like off-season filler. Fuck all happening, isn't there? It's a bit boring. So you've given me lots to talk about, and you know, I've learned a lot as well, which is always nice. And as always, I'll hit the end broadcast button. And it always takes a couple of seconds, so it's like an uncomfortable freeze frame at the end of Naked Gun or Police Squad. And I'll just end you with this. Come on, you Spurs!